Hi guys, very exciting news. On Friday, I received my first proof copy of my new novel, Deified. This time around, I still printed with CreateSpace, but the intermediary typesetting company that I went with instead of Pressbooks this time was Reedsy. And I have to say I am extremely impressed with the quality. This is it. Dun da da da. Check that out. Woohoo! My friend Dan Ashley designed the cover, and I think he did an incredible job given the really short brief that I gave him. Basically, all I said that I required was that the cover featured the main antagonist / protagonist, Jude, and that he be handsome in an unworldly kind of way, utterly beguiling, so much so that he would make a nun fall to her knees in the street. And I think you'll agree with me that he outdid himself. Check that out. Isn't that awesome? Also, the font. People who are Facebook friends with me will know that I had a little mini Facebook poll as to which font looked the best, and the majority of you said this one. And I think you'll agree that in this case, the consensus was correct. It's just really, really effective. The only issue I have, not with the design itself, is with the matte finish. I think I'll eventually end up going with glossy. I'll order glossy prints and see. But for those of you who don't know, The Deified is a novel, horror thriller novel, about a group of, I suppose you would call lost or damaged women who find refuge and family on a commercial orchard run by Jude, the man who pretty much saved them from themselves as well as the outside world. They eventually fall in love with him. They have babies to him, and hijinks ensue from there. Basically, Jude wants to destroy the world and create a new one from the ashes that abides to his rules only, and that his children, who he nicknames the Deified, will run. So it's a novel about a cult, a family cult that sort of grows bigger. I can't remember what actually gave me the idea for the novel, other than the fact that cults have always fascinated me. The sort of hive mind mentality has always just amazed me, because I couldn't be more different. Just the thought of being robbed of my own thinking and my own individuality just terrifies me. To basically be turned into a Stepford woman, that's another of my favourite novels too. That's just a frightening thing. So, that's what basically gave birth to it, I think. So this is my largest novel to date. It's just over 400 pages. It took me 2 years to write, and I'm very, very proud of it. I must say, even the paper quality is better with Reedsy. I don't know if you can see. I'm going to blot out my own face for a second, but look at that. Oh God, I'm so bad at this. It just looks like a real mass market paperback, not a self-published one. So I'm definitely returning to Reedsy. So very, very proud. And this book will be out in the next couple of weeks. I will also be hosting a giveaway of couple of the paperbacks for a couple of lucky winners. Next week, actually on Monday, I'll get up early to film, because by the time I get home from my late shift, Halloween will be over. I will do a sort of a bookish Halloween special. I will just go through the scary books that are my favourites that you might like to read on or around Halloween. Also, a few that I'm anticipating to read, one of which being a Joe Hill book called Heart-Shaped Box. I also own Nosferatu, which I plan to read as well. And I read Horns 2 years ago and just loved it. I mean, the character of Iggy Parish was just one of my favourite characters of all time. And absolutely loved it. So really excited to read Heart-Shaped Box and see if that's as good. And I'll bring out my favourite Stephen King's, because, you can't have a horror book special without mentioning the king of horror. Hello. And who was also my inspiration to become a writer in the first place. I mean, I always wanted to write, but I never really took it seriously until I read my first Stephen King book when I was 12, and that was Pet Sematary. Gave me nightmares. Made me terrified of black cats for a while. And little boys, but apart from that, really good scary read. So that's probably one of the books I'll be mentioning. But and I'll be doing another special towards the end of the year as well. But just to reiterate, I'm sorry, I'm really tired and sinusy, so I'm not going to make much sense. Just to reiterate, my new book, get this thing figured out eventually, The Deified, will be out very, very shortly. So I'm really excited. And any of you who are interested in reviewing it, please hit me in the comment section and I will shoot you over a free e-copy. Okay. And I will see you guys next week. Tune in.